Hello, in this video we're going to discuss the concept of telework or remote work. To do that, I have two objectives. Firstly, identify different modes of teamwork, and then we will provide a detailed definition of one of those modes, which is remote teamwork. Let's begin with the types of work. Until recently, the most traditional or standard mode was face-to-face, where two or more people come together to work and team meetings are held in person. In other words, workers are in the same place and at the same time collaborating. Of course, after these team meetings, individual duties or tasks may be assigned to each team member, which they will obviously carry out without interacting with others. However, the focus here is when the team works as a team, they do so in person, and all individuals are physically present. Another type is remote mode. Some terms are indicated here if you want to search for additional information. In this remote mode, the main characteristic is that activities utilize digital resources instead of tangible resources like pen and paper. They are not physical but digital, electronic means of communication. It doesn't matter if they are analog or digital, but electronic. We have two modalities in this category, and I think it's important to differentiate them because they can set different guidelines for team functioning. The first one is synchronous. Even though people are not in the same location and connect remotely with technology, all team members interact simultaneously. This means you perceive the actions or reactions of others in real time or with a few seconds of delay depending on the technology connections. It may not always involve video. If you use text-based models, you will see what your team members are writing as they are doing it. The interaction is synchronous. If you are using audio only, you will hear others at the same time they are speaking. People may not share the same physical space, but they share time-space. In a synchronous mode, people connect using digital resources and devices at different times, whenever it suits them best. It is not required for everyone to work at the same time. This will only happen at some specific times. You do not expect to receive or observe the actions of other group members at the exact moment they occur. Finally, there is a hybrid option. In this type of work, we mix up the ones before. Some team members are physically present during the group's working moments while others are connected remotely but actively participating simultaneously. This can be illustrated, for instance, by having one person connected remotely and two individuals present in person. To delve a bit further into the remote aspect of teamwork in telework, the basic definition or main aspect is that the team members have access to technologies and processes, that is, ways of using and integrating those technologies that allow them to work remotely. In other words, they can work from a different location from a fixed or rotating position within the organization's premises. This is what characterizes remote work. And of course, this needs to be supported and encouraged by specific policies and practices within the organization where this team operates. Traditionally, a series of advantages and disadvantages have been identified for remote work within a team. It offers the flexibility of location, which should not be confused with other types of flexibility, such as time or processes, as those depend on whether the work is synchronous or asynchronous. Remote work specifically provides flexibility in terms of where it is performed. This can save commuting time between locations and improve the work-life balance. However, it can also create conflicts if work invades private spaces previously reserved for personal activities. This aspect is not entirely clear-cut, as it may vary from case to case. Similarly, remote work could potentially alleviate stress. Still, it could also worsen if the remote work context demands more tasks or attention compared to when working in an office. In an office setting, you only have the stimuli and needs specific to your workplace, which could be more or less stressful. However, suppose remote work introduces additional tasks or stimuli that must be managed alongside your regular job. In that case, it can generate more stress or conflict. Another traditionally considered disadvantage is the potential decrease in social interaction. Remote work, depending on how digital connections are managed within the team, could lead to less interaction with colleagues, employees, or team members. This should be addressed carefully, as the team's cohesion is critical to many team activities. However, it may enhance social interaction with other groups of people with whom you previously had little interaction, thanks to the possibility of working in different contexts or locations as part of the team. Furthermore, remote work may threaten confidentiality and data integrity, including projects and communications. This depends on the practices and methods employed during telework. It is essential to consider these factors when assessing the overall balance of advantages and disadvantages. Indeed, some aspects would be interesting to further analyze and address. For example, it would be valuable to explore whether the advantages and disadvantages are amplified or reduced when remote work is performed as a team compared to individual remote work. Do these advantages and disadvantages apply to all stages of work or only when working as a team? Do the advantages and disadvantages change when working with knowledge workers instead of other workers? Additionally, within the realm of knowledge workers, do these factors vary between different dimensions or facets of their work? Furthermore, do these advantages and disadvantages differ when the team's tasks are complex compared to primarily routine, predictable, and well-known tasks? Another aspect that could be interesting to analyze is that when we introduce remote teamwork, we often focus on technological challenges. We consider whether sufficient and user-friendly video conferencing tools are available and if the internet connection is fast and reliable enough to ensure smooth communication. However, is technology truly the main problem and key factor? Or are there other challenges related to processes, how we conduct teamwork, or the individuals involved, such as their skills, competencies, expectations, organizational culture, or group culture that can significantly impact performance? In summary, we can identify several modes of teamwork: in-person, remote, which can be synchronous and asynchronous, and hybrid. It is important to define the details of remote teamwork.